Mr. Flip Flop. Fred C, what's good? I'm gonna shout y'all up in here early. What up, Flip? DJ Below, what up? You dirty thing. My dirty 30 challenge, I moved to Wednesday. It is over Wednesday. I will have 31 days in the gym. No, sorry, 33 days straight in the gym. We'll get to that on Sunday service. And before anybody gets started, yes, Classico is open tomorrow. Classico is open tomorrow. 100%. The sign is up. The flyers are out. They will, oh, I'm sweating. They will be open. Apologies for rescheduling a live from yesterday. I got caught up at the crib. As you see, I had to leave the bar. Shout out to everybody at Flip Flop. I had to leave the bar again, come home and handle something. Got something going on here I got to take care of. So I ended up back at the crib. But you know, you get to see the blinking lights, me on the big screen. It is what it is. Now, today's live, the topic, I told you guys we're going to take your topics. And this topic comes from my little bro, Lance. Are you really in a relationship overseas or real relationships overseas? Now, this is not just for Dominican Republic. I keep telling you guys, I'm well-traveled, well-versed. So it's not just Dominican Republic. I can speak more in here because I live here. I've been here a long time. But I'm well-traveled as well as in the States. So this is kind of just talking about overseas. And this could be any country. You could just put your country, that's your favorite country, into it. I'm here in Dominican Republic. Even when I was traveling, I would think about this back in the day, but you know, I live here, so it's kind of different. But I'm gonna give you guys some insight on relationships when you're overseas, and ladies as well, if you're dealing with guys. Relationships when you're overseas, when you're home, your real relationship overseas, how it's really functioning. Dashim South Jersey in the building. Salute, Sophia Felix. How you doing, sis? By the way, y'all hit that like button when y'all walk in the door. Don't forget to hit the Cash App. I need money. I'm broke. Don't worry about the scruffiness. It's the dirty 30. I'm keeping it dirty. And I won't be getting anything lined up until probably Sunday, Monday. I don't know. Jerry Hogg, what up? Can you find me a date? I am not the dating service, my friend, but I'm sure you'll have some good luck. And like I said, Classicos will be open tomorrow, so you don't got to ask 100 times. I'm doing it at the beginning of this video so I don't get a million messages. Classico is open tomorrow. Steve-O in the building. What's up, baby? Welcome, Steve-O, back to DR. Flip that salt and pepper Beerless, though. Appreciate it, real Jamal. Dave, what up? All right, so are you really in a relationship overseas? I got my notes right here, so just so you guys know. That's the question. Are you really in a relationship overseas? Now, a lot of you guys don't care. Ladies, you don't care, but you have friends that care. So this is something you might want to share with them because I'm going to give you guys a lot of insight on the situations that I feel and that I've seen firsthand. Because, you know, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but somebody's got to say it. You know, that's why a lot of people don't like me, because I speak the truth. And this is going to be something that's probably going to mess some people up. But you guys know me. Tell it like it is. You know, there's no hate, no bitterness, not attacking anybody's girl or boyfriend, any country, any situation. This is reality talk, grown man talk right here. I want to give you guys something I wrote down specifically. And we're going to, I guess it's called, like, I guess you would define the problem, right? Let me tell you what a relationship is not. So let's get the, burn that count, you funny. Let's get this started now. What a relationship is not. It's not about sending money. It's not about paying rent. Not about paying phone bills. Not about being on WhatsApp all day or on Instagram or social media all day. Not about getting I miss you baby texts. That's not what a relationship is. I know some of you guys feel good. I know some people enjoy the attention. And you know, when I say sending money and stuff, people need help. But that the financial part does not build a relationship. That is not a relationship. You know, we're going to get to that in a second. You have to ask yourself something like this. And this is we're talking about overseas relationships. So obviously you're traveling to these countries. When you land, do you have access? When you land, do you have access? Can you show up unannounced? Can you see her life in real time? A lot of y'all are like, oh, no, you scheduled that. That's why you're getting to see what she wants to show you. You scheduled that. She knew you were coming. And I'm probably gonna get beat up bunch of girls for this. You know, her friends, family, routines. Can you see that in real time, what it really is, aside from what you're being told? You know, or do you need permission and the notice? You know, like a customer service appointment, right? I'm just saying. Everybody wants exclusivity, right? But can you have exclusivity from 3,000 miles away? I'm going to tell you guys something. I had this conversation with someone that's besides Lance. She shot the Lance for the topic. I had this conversation with someone at the bar. We have dope conversations at the bar, right? And there was a comment on Facebook about how do you feel about long distance relationships? And I'm gonna get to some more Facebook comments in a minute. And I said, well, how do we feel about long distance relationship? Can you really trust her? I said, you can't trust her when you live in the same country. And I live in the same country. I don't know where my chicks is at. I have no idea. Chick. I said chicks. I said plural. Messed that one up. I live in the country. I don't know where my chick is. Right? They could tell me where they at. So if you're 3,000 miles away, how would you know? Now, I know guys that tap their chicks' phones, put trackings in their phone, shit like that. That's all good and dandy. But she could tell you anything and you believe it. A lot of y'all gullible in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me get to this comment right here that I'm going to make. And this is, there's my notes right here. Before we go any further into the combo. Talk about online and Facebook conversations and stuff. I don't know how many times I've been online. And some of you right now are probably some of these guys that said this. My baby cooks, my baby cleans and treats me like a king. Talking about your overseas boo. So y'all never had that before? Is it financially subsidized? The affection, the cleaning? In America, my woman clean, cooked, all that. Treated me like a king. But like I said, I'm a little different. I have different, levels of, there's levels to relationships, right? And there's levels to dealing with women. We all know that. Not to pat myself on the back or talk like I'm above anybody, but I have no issues with women at all. Never have in my life. Other than hating me and wanting to stab me in the neck. But that's a whole different video. But cook, clean, treat you like a king isn't a woman. I thought that's what women did. That's what my experience. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Dad. You know what I mean? You got to think about it. Like when I hear people say my boo does this, my boo does that, I'm like, damn, what women you dealt with before that didn't do those things? Maybe it's me. Maybe I've just been lucky to find women that like to do things. I'm sure it's not me. Because before this social media era and the previous generations before us, women were housewives. Women took care of home. They took care of their men. You know what I'm saying? They might have, I don't even know if, because I was younger, I don't know if my grandparents genuinely liked each other. They loved each other. But I don't know if they genuinely liked each other. I don't know. Because their relationship was so black and white that I thought that's just what relationships were. The woman cooks, the woman cleans, man goes makes the money, come home. That's what I saw every day. So that's what I knew. So at the end of the day, I think things have changed now. Oh no, I just turned it on. Yeah, I just turned it on so I don't get struck by ESPN. But things that I saw were black and white. Women took care of the crib, men provided. Obviously, things have changed. It's not the same, but that's the majority of what's supposed to be in a relationship is. So we'll go for. Let me catch you in the comments real quick. Excuse me. There we junk food kid. What up? Everybody hates D. He's a winner's classical. The fridge was empty, so I said, hey, I need to hit that cash app. My fridge is empty too. They said he found me. The HRs are flipping so cold. NYC Dominicans wearing socks. Jesus Christ. Sky Rider, what up? Mulana in the building, what up with you? Unless I'm on the soil for months at a time, I wouldn't entertain a relationship. Believe it or not, most people, listen, guys, I'll say it before. I said it before and I'll say it again. Men want relationships. Women want stability. Unfortunately, as men, we get in the relationships we shouldn't be in. Even though all the signs are there. That's just what it is. I trust my chick in DR because I send her money. Albert, what up? Imagine if Dominican men get taken all the time. I can only imagine how overseas men get taken. Mind you, I'm Dominican saying it. Fat, Alberto, you already know. Yeah, Dominican men get got too. Y'all, he just said it. Don't believe that only foreigners are getting got. Dominican men get got too. Smith, what up? Should save one chica. The Django, what up? Do brothers have to check in when they get to the zoo? Check in. They got to check in with immigration. Forever Unboxing, what up? Terrence Hill, appreciate that super chat, brother. Jay Clyde in the building. Terrence Hill, what's going on with you? All right, so we were talking about being exclusive for 3,000 miles away. Now let's get to this. I'm going to spit some hard truths here with y'all. And like I said, this goes for every country. DR, Colombia, Brazil, any country you go that you got to dealing with a chick overseas. You got to think about these things. We talked about sending money is not a relationship, right? Everyone needs help, so you got to send somebody, you got to help out. If that's a relationship, not only money. Any relationship where money is the glue, is already cracked. It's already broken. You've literally gotten a broken relationship where money is the glue. I had situations where dudes were seeing my ex or my kid's mother and not realizing that, yeah, she didn't like them like that. She still liked me. But money was the glue. Money kept her interested because they needed the money. So you didn't have a relationship, you had a financial relationship. Because once the money slows down, the affection slows down as well. No more te amos. No more mi amores. It's payaso, perro, basura. All the love is gone because the money slowed up. And most guys know what the deal is. They just don't want to face it, right? It is what it is. In my opinion, this is what a real relationship, I wrote this down, what a real relationship overseas looks like. And this is my own experience as well. Real relationship, regular time together. Meaning you actually spend time together. I like to get to know mine, so spend time. Shared experiences, not just going to places you like, go to places she like. Listen, every girl I've ever met in this country, especially my chicks now, I keep going plural. I don't know why I keep doing it. Say I've done more Dominican shit than they have, and it's true. I be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I don't debate with expats or travelers about any experiences, because most people have not experienced what I've experienced. I'm sure there are a few here and there, but I've traveled almost 90% of this country, been all over the place by myself. So there's not much I haven't done. And when I talk to Dominicans and tell them the things I've done, or I've bumped into Dominicans different parts of the country, they be like, what the fuck? So, you know what I'm saying? Shared experience. I want to do things that Dominicans do. Since I'm in Dominican Republic, I want to experience. I want to go to the Camaro. I want to go to the Typico. Hear the band play loud as fuck. I don't know what they be saying sometimes. They just yelling. But it's dope to me. And everybody's popping their head. No financial leverage. What do you mean by that, Flip? A lot of y'all, and I got two good friends that do this. Very good friends of mine. He might be watching. One of them might be watching now. Some of y'all use financial leverage in relationship. I know she needs me, so this is what I'm going to do. I have a friend who told me straight up and down, I want her to need me. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy, because what happens if someone comes along and offers more? She don't need you no more. Because you just use the money against it. You know what I'm saying? Mutual effort, meaning she's doing her part as well. Mutual risk, meaning she's taking a chance just like you're taking a chance. She's got to feel that losing you is just as important as you feel losing her. And not just the finances. You got to understand, if you can walk away just as easy as she can, then that's real. You got to understand that. I lived here for a long time now. I've traveled all over the world. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the reality of a lot of the shit. And a lot of people talk to me. So without saying people's names, without telling everybody's personal stories, I hear a lot of stories. And one thing I can say is, I'm not the end all be all. My opinion's not the end all be all. My experience ain't the end all be all. But I can kind of tell you, like, the consensus kind of is men want to be in a relationship with a little bit of security. But is there really security? Especially this day and age with social media. See, I don't think my granddad had to worry about someone sending my grandmom's DMs, which should probably back in the days, a DM would have been a phone call and telling her how to write the message down, right? There was no internet back then, but I don't think my granddad had to worry about that, or someone sending his girl pictures or liking her pics or something like that. They didn't have to worry about that. Now this is the age of attention, so everybody needs attention. Everybody wants attention, so you're fighting with that. You know, I've done a lot of wrong, I've done right, but I'm giving you my experience of based on what I see in the conversations I have, because I know I'm not the only one. Somebody's watching this right now, like, yeah, I've been through that. Trust me, I know. You're not the only one. And you know, the biggest thing is I'm not talking from like theory. I'm talking from actual receipts. Like I live this shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where it might have been more financial than anything. Few, not many. I will tell you, like, one of my kids' mothers, my son's mother, one of my son's mothers, excuse me. She thought I was rich at one point. I'll tell you this story. She thought I was rich. It was weird. I don't know why she thought I was rich. But she did. She just assumed I was just this millionaire living in DR for whatever reason. I have no idea. And so she's like, yo, I want some more money. I'm like, yo, I'm giving you money. Like, what are you talking about? So she actually took me to court. I told you I went to court for one of my kids. Now, here's the wild part. I rent a car. Now, she had moved, so she's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Okay, I gotta drive hours and hours and hours to this courthouse. I gotta pick my lawyer up, drive all the way to this courthouse, right? I get all the way out there. Now, for you guys that don't know, when you go to court in any situation, usually the judge says, y'all work this out outside and come back in and tell me what you got. That's how it usually works. Judges don't make a decision right off the bat. They give you guys time to work things out. And if you can't work things out, you come back in the room and they decide to work things out for you. So we go outside. Now, with the time I was giving her, whatever I was giving her, I don't remember. Don't get me the lying. And yeah, whatever it was definitely more than enough. But when we went outside to do whatever negotiation shit, whatever the case may be, she asked for 6,000 pesos a month. Now, at the time, that was like $100. Now it's like I don't even think it's $100. Is it $100 now? Not even $100 now. And I looked at her, and I wanted to choke the shit out of her. The rental cost me $200. Feeding my lawyer cost me $50. The gas was damn near $100. So I done spent all this money to go to court for that little bit of money you asking me for. I done spent 4 times that coming to the courthouse for you to ask me for that little bit amount. We could have talked about that on the phone, but you get what I'm saying, right? So she assumed I was rich. And then she asked for this. She thought it was a big amount, which it wasn't. I was even mad at the fact that she asked for that. I'm thinking she asked for this crazy amount. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to realize that one person's idea of a lot is another person's idea of a little. So I've been through those situations. I'm not speaking out of my ass. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from made up stories that I just made up. I'm talking real shit. I've been through this shit. Let me get to the comments 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry. Business calls. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. And also, you got to think about something. If the money stops, what stays? Think about that. Think about it. Like I said, I've had dudes send... The little cornball dude that was talking about my son and say he took care of my son, which was weird too. He was sending exorbitant amounts of money to my BM. Exorbitant amounts of money to my BM. I guess whatever the case may be, yes, that was his way of in a relationship. I don't know. Nothing to do with me though. Fred C, what's good? Bermuda Breeze in the building. She said, what's poppin'? DR, Colombia, and Brazil for art for entertainment purposes only. I hear you. Rico Kimbro, what up? King Kurt, what up? Dave, what up? Said great advice, appreciate it. Investing in my Chica personal and professional development, do something good on the way out. Damn, Flo, what kind of lawyer as you pay him, pick him up, and feed him? Well, at the end of the day, I didn't know what to expect from the situation, so I kind of had no choice but to take him with me because this is my lawyer, but the shit was so far I kind of had no choice. He wasn't gonna drive out there. Oh, goody, what up with you? Greg is dropping knowledge on y'all. At least y'all can do is check in and flip flops before you do anything else. Appreciate that, Bermuda Breeze. All right, so let's do this. None of this is deter you from dating overseas. This is to give you a reality check about dating overseas, right? Peace is expensive, but delusion is more expensive. I'll say it again. Peace is expensive, but delusion is more expensive. And some of y'all mofos be delusional. Listen, I had a situation where it wasn't about money. By far, it wasn't about money. But at some point in time, it became about money. And I was so far in that I kind of was like, damn, I feel like I'm being used. And when I brought it up, of course, like Dominican women do, she flipped it. She was like, what you mean I'm using you? No, I don't want shit. I'm like, no, hold on. You're not going to do that. If I feel a certain way, because if I offer something, that's one thing. But if you ask and then I give it and you ask something, it's like another thing comes up, then wait a minute. We got the cable bill, the light bill, the medicine bill. Like we saw, there's a lot of, how you surviving before me? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here? So you start to look at things in a different manner. Like I said, I probably wasn't being used. It just felt that way. It felt like the phone rang every time someone needed something. Now, in return, okay, they want to spend time with me. They want to have sex. Okay, I guess, but I'm not. That doesn't even out. You know what I'm saying? I view sex a little differently than most people. So it doesn't. Me paying your bills does not equal one night of sex with me. I'm sorry. That's very expensive. You know what I mean? A lot of fellas think they're sending and fail to realize Dominican ladies are getting Dominican prices as opposed to gringo. That's a fact. Jay Clyde said dating overseas is difficult if you don't live there. Plan to live there or visit very often. Jay Clyde, that's my point. It's very difficult. It's even more difficult when people are delusional. You know, y'all could let me know in the comments too what you think a real relationship is. Give me a second. Because at the end of the day, here's what I'm going to tell y'all. When you finance love, that's what I'm going to call it, finance love. Isn't that like a subscription service? Like I'm subscribed to YouTube Prime. I'm subscribed to HBO Max, Disney Plus. But I get content from that. I watch my movies, the TV shows. But you got a whole relationship subscription. Monthly you pay or yearly you pay, probably monthly, and you get affection and love. So basically, you don't got a relationship, you got a subscription. Check your bank account. make sure it's coming out automatically. You know? And I've kind of realized that, like, a lot of people are living in a subscription service. I guess because with the world we live in now, everything's subscription based. I guess it doesn't matter that you're have a subscription relationship, right? It's cool. I'm subscribed to HBO Max. That's cool. It's all right. I can pay. Think of a name. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong name. I can pay Tiffany as well. I'm subscribed. Tiffany loves me. She loves me. But I'm being serious. Is it not a subscription? Like, okay, I give money. She loves me. I pay YouTube Prime, I get no commercials. I pay HBO Max, I get Game of Thrones. Right? You pay, you get a subscription. You know? I mean, is that not what it is? Because at the end of the day, I'm like, some of y'all enjoy subscription services. I'm trying to cut back on some of these subscriptions. You know, I don't want Hulu. I want Disney Plus. Relax. I don't want Tubi. Tubi's free, but I can't get it down here. J. Cloud, required weekly, monthly bill subscription service is not a relationship. But that's a fact. J. Cloud's a great friend. Yeah, it's a fact. Some people got, listen, when you think about it, And that's what this live kind of really is. When you think about it, do you have a relationship or do you have a subscription service? Is it subsidized finance? Like I said earlier, I hear guys talk online. Oh, she cooks, she cleans, she treat me like a king. That is subsidized services. You are literally, I've gotten treated like that for free. I didn't have to pay, but like I said, I don't know everybody's situation with women. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that's what a relationship was. Like when I deal with a woman, I kind of expect those things. You know, I expect her to cook. I expect her to clean. She don't have to. I lived alone for a long time. She don't have to, but I kind of expect that. You know, I've sat down with women I've dealt with, especially ones I've had kids with, and some of them didn't know how to cook until they met me, which is weird. You couldn't tell me they didn't know how to cook. They're like, nah, first time I ever cooked was for you. I'm like, that's wild. You definitely tested your cooking skills out on my life, but whatever, we're here. You definitely experimented with my life with your cooking skills, but okay, we're here. But you know, I guess that's to be expected. I didn't know, but they decided I'm gonna go cook for this man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Some women learn how to cook American dishes based on being with me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say. But it wasn't a subscription service. It was, hey, we're together, we're dealing with each other, whatever the case may be. Obviously, everyone needs help, right? But when you make it only financial, like I said, if the finances are the glue, then the relationship is glued by finances, the relationship is already cracked. It is what it is. It is what it is. And like I said, if the finances stop, does the affection stop? You got to think about that. HR said, I get sad sometimes when I see my Western Union receipts. I'm about to choke. I don't think the relationship can be established from the week or two for vacation. Evidence is the same as building something real in the States. Here's the thing, everybody, HD. You're right. But a lot of dudes bust into a relationship just off of a 2-week stay. They may talk on the phone, stuff like that, and then they come back and all of a sudden they're in a relationship. It's weird. Dudes were really getting full-fledged, well, they think are full-fledged relationship. I think it's a full-fledged subscription service based on that short period of time. You don't even know. Here's the wild part. If your Spanish is not up, you don't really have a girlfriend in Colombia or Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. If your Portuguese is not up, you don't really got a girlfriend in Brazil. Let's be honest. You know, and even if it's up, do you really know the nuances, know the culture? Have you taken the time to know what Dominicans like and dislike? Colombians like and dislike? Do you even know the culture for real? Brazilians, have you taken the time to know the culture? To know that if you're the type of guy that she would even deal with. Not even talking like on looks. I ain't talking about looks. Because like I make this joke all the time. Some of my friends get mad at me, but I make this joke all the time. Some of these countries, and I'm going to use DR and Brazil mainly. Colombia, I only know a few actual Colombian men, but most of them are from America. Colombia and Brazil, it's like the most beautifulest women with like the ugliest dudes. And when I say ugly, just meaning you could put me in a room with any one of these guys and they would not walk out with a chick that I would. So I ain't worried about that. Now, in their element, yes, it's their world. But put us anywhere else in the world, they are not walking out with a bad broad, better than mine. So it is what it is. And that's just how I feel. You know, not that I judge men, but I was a personal trainer, so I look at the human body. It is what it is. But most dudes are fat, out of shape. You know, like I've actually been told people want me to gain 20 pounds back. Like the fatter a dude is, like the more chicks he get. It's weird to me, but he got the beer belly, little man boobs. He's actually pretty sexy out here for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't know. None of my business. But they also can relate through culture, so it's a little different. So I ain't talking about looks. You know, you gotta understand that it's a little bit different if you don't understand the culture. HR said Flip is correct. I tried my best. Steve-O said a relationship is based primarily on money, often fails because it lacks a foundation of mutual trust, shared values, and genuine emotional connection, making it unsustainable in the long term. Look at that Mark Twain shit Steve-O just spit. Go ahead, Steve-O. The shapeshifter said, I don't want no subscriptions. Give me the jailbroke the jailbroke joint. Oh man. Then you have Jay Claus said, then you have YouTubers trying to mass paying a subscription fee as she is my employee and works for me. Let me tell you something, man. And Jay Clyde, it's funny you said that. I believe a lot of YouTubers are full of shit. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Now, I'm not going to call out every YouTuber, but a lot of YouTubers are full of shit. Okay? I occasionally watch certain people, and I be like, damn, you can kind of tell who lies. And I've met a lot of people in person, and, you know, a lot of them can never speak bad on my name, when those who have met me in person. But I've noticed that, okay, this guy's good with the camera, or in front of the camera. But when you see him in front of females without the camera, it's not the same person. He's not able to communicate and function like he acts like in front of the camera. So I'm not talking shit about nobody, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, I don't need to show. I don't need no pats on the back, no applause, none of that shit. You come hang with me, you see how I roll. My shit is different, and a lot of people have been around me, seeing how I roll. My shit different. I just don't want to be showing all this stuff because I got business, I got family, my people. You know, a lot of stuff I don't want to put on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Based on how I built my brand. So that's just me personally. I actually tell guys like, hey man, we party and have a good time, get your videos, but I really don't want to be in no videos like that. You know what I'm saying? One second. Let me catch up on the comments. Mr. G, what up? What up, Garrett? It's culture difference. Caribbean women expect men to take care of household. The mentality is different. And G, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Caribbean men actually do a lot in the crib. It's weird, but it goes both ways, G, because G's right. G, listen, G knows that shit like the back of his hand as well. Caribbean men actually wash dishes, clean the crib, all that. And the women put up fucking pictures, like fix, like it's weird. That's he's 100% right with that. I think all the pictures put up in my crib were done by my chick. Like it's weird. And the men will wash the dishes, they'll cook, they'll clean. Like it kind of goes that way. So he's 100% right about that. But in my experiences personally, the women have done a lot of that stuff. Now I cook, clean, I can do all that, but do I? No, I got lazy being here because I never had to really do nothing. Like I said, if your crib is dirty, you ain't got a girlfriend. Yeah, listen, you can have a hooker and your crib ain't gonna be dirty. Cause the chick come in, she see the crib dirty, she gonna be like, no, Poppy, wait a minute, I gotta clean the crib first. I know you pay by the hour, but I gotta clean the crib. Like it's just what it is. They see shit messy. They want to clean. It can't be like this, Poppy. We gotta clean this. You know what I mean? Junk Foods, everything you're saying is real talk. I appreciate it. C-Boy, what up? Twin, what up? He said, if you're in a relationship with a Dominican, don't give her no money for a month, see what happens. Ghost to happen to me. But here you go. What now, not to get too personal with you, what did you not give money for? Because if you already started giving money, what made you stop? Like I said, when the money stops, the affection stops, if it's based on money. But I also tell guys all the time, don't open Pandora's box with finances if you're not ready to keep it going. I've seen many dudes. Now here's where I'm on the Chica side. Now, some of them don't even know I'm on their side, but here's why I'm on their side. I've seen many dudes ruin a chick's life by coming in, bringing all this money into their life that they never had before. And then at the drop of a dime, either you run out of money, not referring to you, twin, excuse me, either you run out of money or things get hard in your life because you got a whole life and you decide to take care of a whole human being. And you decide to cut the chick off or give less money or bounce period and just cold turkey, but you put her in this life. You gave her a bigger apartment. She was fine with a $100 apartment. You gave her AC. Her light bill went up. You took her all these places, did all these things, all this food. That wasn't how she lived before. So you think you were leveling her up, which you were, but then when things got hard in your life because you decided to grab a whole human being who probably had one or two human beings that came out of them. So now it's 3 human beings you added into your life. See, having a kid of your own is different. For you guys that don't have kids, let me explain. If I have a baby right now, I have time to set up my finances for that baby. That baby is going to grow. And over time, I create the finances for that child. So it's easy. Now, if the child comes into my life at 13 or 18 or 25, I haven't prepared my finances for that human being. I didn't raise that human being. That human being wasn't there. I wasn't there from the jump to put that human being in a situation where my finances were accurate to their life. A lot of y'all don't seem to understand that. When you grab an entire human being, for you guys that go get these girls and grab a whole human being and add her 2 to 3 human beings that she made. I'm not even talking about her mother. I'm talking about the kids. You have added 3 to 4 human beings in your life that you did not know a year ago. That's expensive. That's not cheap. And then you like sushi. You like filet mignon. What they gonna eat? Salami? Not if you go to the restaurant. Some of y'all are thinking, oh yeah, I done seen mad dudes ruin these chicks' lives because you done brought them up here and bounced. And then they gotta figure it out. Now, like, and just ain't just Americans, I've seen Dominicans do it too. But that don't make sense to me. If you're not prepared or financially stable to take care of a whole human being, don't do it. Just my opinion. If you're willing to help, hey, I can help with this, I can help with that, cool. But also make sure you know, because I've had situations where dudes had whole situations, cribs, everything. They pop up, like I said, do you have access? When you come into town, do you have access? They pop up, they find out the chick's with a whole nother dude living in the crib. Well, that's what happens. I had a neighbor one time, and if Kay's watching this, he'll laugh. I had a neighbor one time who was dating this German dude. Well, married to the German dude, excuse me. And somebody kept parking in our parking spot. So my man had a car, I have a car at the time. So somebody kept parking in our parking spot. And I'm like, yo, I said, yo, can y'all move the car? Whose car is this? Oh no, it's gonna be moved out the way in the man. It was a small parking lot, so it was like we only had the one spot. So me and the cousin got really cool. And the cousin confided in me, drink with me, kick it with me. He's like, yeah, you know that's not her brother. I'm like, what you mean her brother's not her brother? What the fuck are you talking about? You the family, you family too. He's like, yeah, that's her boyfriend. Those are his kids in the crib. I'm like, what? I seen it with the German dude driving him around, drinking with the German dude. He's like, it'd be killing him, but yeah, German dude's the husband. He's the money. He's taking care of the family. When he's not in town, that's homie's crib. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. So if you're gonna do all that stuff, make sure you know the situation too. Make sure a motherfucker like me not breaking your couch in. I'm just saying, I've been known to come to the crib. There's new furniture. Let's test it out. Thank you. C-Boy, what up with you? I used to love sending the money Western Union on Friday mornings. He said, weirdos in HD. Albert said, true, Dominican women love clean. That's a fact, man. Buck Travel, what up? When I was in Colombia, I was messing with this chick who had a boyfriend from Norway. I was messing and she was telling she loves him. Yeah, that's that, bro. I done been with chicks. And they've had 1 second. And they got to, yeah, baby, love you. I'm going to sleep. I'm so tired. Like, you know, I'm like, I love you so much. I'm like, holy shit. So I've seen it firsthand. Desmond said, when I'm done freestyling, then I'll look for a relationship. So then I'm going to keep it real. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Jay Christ said, this is why some people say don't date baby mamas. This is the other reason why. Not just the chaos the lady brings, but how you aren't prepared to take care of a human being already in progress. And here's what I'm going to say to that. And I get the don't baby mama movement, but we not meeting virgins. Especially some of our age. Anybody who's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, teens, we not meeting no virgins. So there's just a good chance, especially in the Caribbean overseas culture, a lot of the chicks have kids at young ages. So we're not meeting any virgins. So you're pretty, like, I can tell you right now, in my going on 20 years here in this country, I can honestly tell you, without a doubt, I've met less than 10 women over 22 with no kids. Less than 10. I told every single one of them that's fucking rare as shit. Rare as fuck. Less than 10 without kids. In my travels around the world, I probably met less than 50 around the world. Three passports, 20 years of traveling. Less than 50 women without kids, which I thought was rare as well. You know? So you're pretty much gonna be meeting chicks with kids here and there. The way the world is now. Like I said, social media fucked the world up. So especially when it comes to relationships. Um, so I get that, but you know, you're gonna pass up on a good chick because she got it. Like you might meet the one. She just happened to have kids. You didn't know. Listen, yeah, what was that line homie said in that show? I guess it was how you was raised. I'm not gonna knock you because I didn't know you. But like, damn, you got one kid? Damn, what was you doing? He's like, I only got one. Only one. Now I got a few kids, so I can't comment. But I'll be like, damn, you couldn't hold out, wait for me? You ain't was gonna meet me one day? You know, other than that, nothing you can do. Bermuda Breeze Order said, money transfer company manager told me that most of the females receiving funds in Latin countries receive money from a minimum of 6 senders per month. Bro, let me tell you something. What he just said, 6 senders per month. I'm going to tell you something a chick told me while she was preaching to other chicks. This was, shout out my man Kiko, he was still alive. We used to joke around. We called it Pluto School. It was just a funny thing that some chick made up. Because every time the chicks came into town, we would be schooling. Like, we had mad chicks we knew. So we just schooling chicks, whatever. And so this one homegirl came over. She was like an OG in the town. Really OG in Puerto Plata. And she said, listen, you a bum motherfucker if you ain't got 2 to 3 guys sending you money that you haven't met yet. That was almost 15 years ago. And that didn't resonate till later on. I was like, didn't meet yet. But then I realized there's dudes who send money just to have conversations. Dudes who send money just for pictures. Dudes who send money just for FaceTime. I could never do it, but there are people that do it. So when she said that, I didn't understand it when she said it. But later on down the line, years later, I was like, oh shit, she was right. You are kind of a bum if you can only get money by having sex. Because most guys will send you money based on the illusion or delusion of maybe y'all link up one day. You got guys with no passport sending money. They are not booking a flight because they can't. And they are sending money. You know why? The illusion. They know they can't see her no time soon. But they'd like to. You got guys trying to get girls visas. I laugh at that one. They trying to get girls visas, bring them to the States. I'm going to change her life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Gotcha. That person's going to slip their wrist. I swear to God, they are. Donald Spice said, dude gets so focused on certain areas. They never focus on females with careers. Teachers that have professional jobs. Not that they make a lot of money, but at least they have foundation. Well, Donald, here's the problem with that. Well, what you just said. Most dudes don't know where to go to meet them. I've put people on spots that look dead, like would look dead to you. Like, that shit's dead. You go up in there, you're going to meet some of the, you got to remember, the people of substance that with the jobs and the professions like you talking about, don't go to the normal places. They don't hang out at the clubs and the lounges and with the girls twerking. And they don't do that. They go to the boring wine bars. They go to the boring looking restaurants. They be there. They go to the social events, the social gatherings where everybody's got to dress up. I be at those spots. I've taken guys to those spots or told guys, if they tell me they got an invite to a certain spot, go to that spot. Watch what happens. And dudes meet bankers, lawyers. I'm like, yeah, these people that you're referring to don't go to the app. They don't go to Mixer. They don't go to Ground Zero. They don't go to Classico. You know what I'm saying? They go to certain spots where the people on their level, they may want to go twerk. Some of them may want to turn up, but they got to go to the spots where the other professional people are. And that's the places where you can find them at. And you'll know it's one of those spots because you'll walk in the door and everybody look at you crazy. You'll feel mad weird walking through the door. Oh shit, what the fuck? Can I get a drink, please? Like, why are you here? Everybody up here has something. Trust me, I go to owners of businesses and kick it with some of my guys I know around it's levels to this shit. Now, here's the wild part when I'm talking about that real quick. Some of you who've been at the bar see people approach me all day long. Hey, MrFlipFlop, hey, what's going on? Like, approach me all day long. I understand how some of y'all look at me when y'all see that. Because I've been with some. Let's see if I'm still. Am I still? Okay, I'm live. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell just happened. Y'all hit that like button. We all got any likes. Was I live that whole time? Y'all got any likes? Was I live? I'm here. All right. Sorry about that. Dominican Republic Wi-Fi. But yeah, like I was saying, y'all sit there and look at me and all the people that talk to me. I've been with some of the big dogs in POP, and people come up to me every 5 minutes. And these is like older gentlemen, business owners, own multiple business property. Like they've done a lot for the community as well. So they're like gods in some of these neighborhoods. And I'm just sitting there soaking it in. You know what I'm saying? Getting info, talking about business, stuff like that. And I'd be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I remember I sat there with my chick one time. We were out to eat some little new restaurant. I like to pop in new restaurants all the time. It was a new little restaurant. I saw somebody promoting, so I went and checked it out. And the owner walked in. I said what up to him, but I don't think he recognized me. I didn't have a beard last time he saw me. It was I hadn't seen him in a while. So he says what up, and these young guys, and they're actually they're waiting for him. So he's talking to them. And as I ordered my drink again, he heard my voice. And I think that's how he remembered. And he looked over, he said hello. He's like, yeah. He jumps up from the table, comes over, like, oh my God, says what up to everybody. Well, to my chick, whatever. And he's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you so long. Like, and she's like, you really know him? I said, I told you, I'll be out here with the big dogs. But I'm saying that to say, like, you see people with those people you're talking about, Donald, be in different situations. They don't be at the normal spots. Sorry, Dominican Wi-Fi. I've been dealing with this company for a while. K9, what's good with you, bro? Damn, breaking in furniture. Wow, I thought it was, hey, that's what we do. Your chica asked you money for a new couch. Men are love, women are in business. There you go. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Sorry about the Wi-Fi, y'all. I've been dealing with the company for a couple of days. He said, I don't care how good the cooking is at home. Sooner or later, you're going to want to go out and eat. Y'all hit that like button. Jump Fu says street meat. It's no different than when cats was calling 900 numbers back in the day. Facts. He said, if you want action, stand by the supermarket. No, don't do that. Logan, what up? Most guys to meet women only go to bars and clubs. That's the problem. Have other things going on. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Bars and clubs are cool. I love bars. I like bars more than clubs now. I don't really care for clubs anymore. By the way, Classical will be open tomorrow, so don't ask me again. I don't really care for clubs like that no more. Bars are cool. Lounges are cool. You know what I'm saying? My chick is professional and has never asked me for one penny in 1 year. I had to wade through the chat. You got to wade through them, but here's the thing. Everybody needs help. So I always say to myself, how were you surviving before me? That's my only question. Your chick is the teacher. That's what's up. Okay, so I'm thank you. I guess I don't know what the hell was going on. Thank you, guys. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, Dominican Wi-Fi. But I've been dealing with the company for a couple of days, man. They be getting my damn nerves. Oh, bro, there's some great places to go to, but from the outside in, it's gonna look boring to you. Like I said, I'm not gonna stay on long because my Wi-Fi acting up. Don't be a subscription. You can date overseas. You can really have a relationship overseas, but you gotta take it for what it is. You can't sit there and just be thinking because you send money it's a relationship. I'm telling you, I've been through this. I've seen many guys crash and burn on this. Everyone thinks, well, I'm sending money, she's my girlfriend. No, she's your subscription. You have a paid subscription service and you get something in return. Same as YouTube, same as Max, same as Disney Plus. You are paying for a subscription, you get something in return. It's all about being on an even keel. Okay, everybody needs help. We know that. But is your help the only thing keeping the relationship together? Is the finances the only thing going? Then you don't have a relationship. And if you don't speak the language, you really don't have a relationship. Sorry to burst your bubble. Some guys get mad at me when I say this. You cannot be with a woman, or ladies, be with a man through Google Translate. You can't. Matter of fact, I'll show you this. No history. No history. I don't need this shit. It's just in my phone. And I will occasionally go in here and type a book if I'm mad about something, just so I don't mess up, but I don't really use it. If you don't live here in DR, you're not in a relationship. You're someone who sponsors, so I don't have to give her a few bucks. But here's the thing. You could live here and still not be in a relationship. That's why I keep telling people, I think it's a farce when people think, oh, I live here, it's better. No, you could live here and not know where your chick is at. Let me explain something. It only takes a short period of time to get smashed. It don't take a long period of time to get smashed if you really want to see somebody. Donald said, take a trip outside Sosua, on the Isle of Babe, stands in the little towns in between. Oh, here's the thing. You can go right outside Sosua. You can go right up, right? You ain't even got to go that far. This place is all in POP, all in Sosua that y'all don't even know about. Flip, when I'm in Santo, I go to art exhibitions, wine tasting. There you go. There's an art exhibition coming up in Sosua soon, too. That's where you meet baddies that accountants, lawyers. That's 100%. 100%. There's places you can go and you can meet. But now here's the thing, though. If your Spanish ain't up, if you're just looking for some buns, that's not, don't even bother going because they're gonna peep that right away. They're gonna see through that right away. Wiseman, what's up, my brother? He said the game is cultural and generational passed down. You ain't the first and not the last. Even the locals get burned by the game. Thank you. And Alberto said that earlier. Even the locals get burned by the game. But like I said, to meet that there's levels to this shit. Okay? Like I said, guys, I know so many people that are some of the best to ever do it. I may talk a lot of shit, but this dude's better than me. There's levels to this. There's a certain, I told you guys a long time ago, and I've been around these women. My man Hugh Grad's been around them. We introduced by a couple other people we know. My man Hanzo was a Dom Yorker who put me onto a lot of shit down here when it came to levels of women. There are certain women that will not talk to you, no matter how much money you have. Because probably their father has more money than you. Their father wants them to get with a well-to-do Dominican. He'd prefer them with a well-to-do Dominican than anyone else. Then the stigma of you already being a gringo. I tell you the stigma. If a woman's with a gringo, she's a whore. That's just the stigma. That's every country. That's the stigma. Until you prove that wrong, that you're not just there for buns. So you got this. You got the stigma. You got the culture. You got the language all against you. It's not as easy as people think it is. There's a lot of y'all in relationships right now that are just subscription-based services that are just financial services. You're not actually in relationships because you haven't jumped over those barriers yet. You have not jumped over those barriers. You don't speak the language. You haven't got past the gringo shit. Listen, to this day, there are people that call my chick, my exes, whores because they were dealing with me. Then even the ones I got he around. Okay, he here. You ain't that much of a whore. I don't know what that means. She's not that much of a whore because I live here. But they had to deal with that stigma, I told you, my ex-fiance years ago, back in the day, her grandfather's name was Gregory as well. He told me, I thought you were just here to buy my granddaughter. I was like, what? I thought you're a cool guy. I like you. He said in Spanish, he's like, I like you. But the whole time I thought you were some gringo coming to buy my granddaughter. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But that's the stigma. So you got to get over a lot of humps in order to even be in a real relationship. I was saying in meeting someone professional, doing activities like dance. Oh, definitely. No, 100%. You're right. But a lot of guys aren't looking for that. That's why I said you're going to meet some baddies with substance, with jobs, careers. But are you even looking for that? There's a lot of work that needs to be put in for that. Gans, what up with you? She's not your girl, it's your turn. You already know. But also, Gans, Classical will be open tomorrow. I'm sure you heard about it. Anyway, a lot of people ain't willing to put the work in for a relationship. So, it sounds good going to meet this doctor, this lawyer, this dentist. I got a dentist story too. But are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to go to these places that may seem kind of boring to you? I love them. They're more laid back than anything. Certain restaurants. There's certain restaurants I go to that a lot of y'all would never go to. Forget about the food. Now, if I tell you how good the food is, you're like, yeah, let me go check it out. But some of these restaurants are basically meeting spots for those people with careers and stuff like that. Everybody don't go to these restaurants. If you don't live there 90% of the time, you're getting played. If you do live there, you're getting played 50%. In fact, I'd say 60% if you live here. You don't know because you don't really know, right? You don't really know. You never actually really know. I don't try to put too much thought into it. Because one thing y'all don't realize, if a woman gonna cheat, she gonna cheat. So there's really nothing you can do about it. It's just up to you to be like, okay, this is what it is. You can't hold someone against their will. It's the same everywhere in the world, not just overseas. Same way in the world. If a woman gonna cheat, she gonna cheat. Mo Music, what up? Late night work outside. Shout out to you in Thailand. Rara say even the pros are choosing if they tell you some outrageous price, they hoping you say no because they really don't want to fuck with you. That's a fact. Some chicks will say crazy numbers just because they don't want to rock with you. This is crazy part. You have Puerto Rican, Dominicans, Colombians that speak Spanish, and they think they're exceptional from the game. Yeah, you're right. It also takes time to be in social circles to meet the best quality. That's my point, and that's the way I meant to say it. Excuse me. It's the time to get in those social circles too. I will explain something to you. I'm in many various social circles amongst expats, tourists, and Dominicans. Some of the circles I'm in amongst Dominicans, some of my Dominicans could never get in, which they'd even look at me and be like, how the fuck you get in there? But it's not easy, especially when I'm known for being the guy to bring gringos to these spots that I'm talking about, some of these spots. I've gotten known for throwing parties, not just in Sosua, in POP, around the country. I've also gotten known for bringing gringos to spots that gringos don't usually come to. I've been known for that amongst Dominicans. They, oh, that's great. He brings the gringos over here. Just giving guys a different atmosphere. So, because of that, I had a little stigma attached to me for a while. Oh, he's just the guy with the gringos. He's, some people didn't know, is he a guy? They thought I was a guy. They didn't know what I was. Then I was like, oh, he's just a guy who hangs with a lot of gringos. He knows a lot of gringos. So I had to get in some of those social circles, and it was a little difficult for me. You know what I'm saying? But because I was around so much, I was allowed into some of them circles, and some of those circles are tight. Some of them circles I couldn't just bring anybody around. I couldn't just say, hey, come with me to the spot. It ain't like that, because they're gonna look at me crazy. Greg. Well, like back home, I tell you, with my Puerto Rican friends, they be like, Greg, we got a party, you can come, but leave the homies at home. I swear to God, they did that. You also have to show you can be an asset. That's a fact. He said, not even classical and them nasty ass wings and hot ass beer to give me a Sosua. Shout to the homie guys. It's not easy breaking some of these social circles. Dominicans are very closed off. Their crew is their crew, especially if they got money. Thank you. I just said that. Thank you, Rara. I just said that. These circles are hard to get into, man. I actually have a situation. It only popped up 2 years ago. But a situation where I'm in a social circle and I did not know that an ex I used to deal with, her husband's in this same circle. We never crossed paths. Until it was a meetup one day. And it was just a meetup for drinks. I think they were taking the excursion. I couldn't go on the excursion. So it was just meet up for drinks, talking. And I happened to be sitting there and I look across the room and someone's murdering me with their eyes. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I feel a So I look over and it's my ex's husband. And I recognize him because he's a little guy, like cute little guy, little leprechaun type dude. And he hates me. He hates my guts because he knows how much she loved me, and we almost got back together. And he's asking two of his people what the fuck I'm doing there. I never forget. I could if I could read lips. That's what he was saying. What the fuck is that guy doing here? I could tell you. And one of the guys who knows me very well, like, oh, he's a business owner. He's almost like he's been here. And I could tell he's very upset about that. He didn't know I was in the circle. I didn't know he was in the circle. And lo and behold, my man came over and talked to me. He's like, I didn't know you had problems. I said, I don't have a problem with anybody. And when he found out what the situation really was about my ex, who was his current wife, my man said, that's the most clownish shit in the world. We don't even acknowledge that. He said, don't even worry about it. I said, I wasn't worried about it anyway, but if there's a problem, I'll leave. They were like, hell no, you ain't leaving. Mind you, I just met more dudes in the circle. So I was brought closer in because it was a circle of like real businessmen and stuff like that. So it's like, So it is very, very exclusive, and a lot of like most circles should be, So you won't just be allowed. You won't get a text message for an invite. Meet and greet socials are great. Paying wins. What up, yo? It unsubbed me from you. Yeah, I don't know why, bro. For some reason, this YouTube thing be unsubbing people by accident. You gotta resub again. I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. It's been happening for like a year now. This Puerto Rican dude I know was just in Medellin, so he sends me a bunch of pics with different chicas. He says none of them are 304s. I said, oh, you want Laura? He says, how you know her? Facts, right? Good social circles in non-westernized countries are tough. Not just DR, Colombia, Kenya, maybe Nigeria. That's pretty much anywhere, right? A good social circle, that you would really want to be part of. I enjoy being part of circles with businessmen. I'm talking about when it comes to Dominican Republic, as well as Americans, American businessmen, Dominican businessmen. I've learned a lot down here. I also do a lot with a lot of businesses, so it's like I'm always on the phone talking to people. So getting these social circles, as well as they share ideas. We all share. I share a lot of ideas with them. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I know the ins and outs of what's going on the past 2 years here in the North Coast. But yeah, you can meet these women, you can have an overseas relationship, but just keep it all in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Keep it all in perspective. Because at the end of the day, if it's all about finances, you will lose. Like I said, it could be subscription-based services. At that point, it's really nothing. Do you cancel the subscription? Are you locked in a subscription forever? If you have a kid, that's a forever service. You're locked in for the lifetime plan. So be careful, y'all. Now, look, I ain't going to stay on too much longer. I'm going to get out of here, get ready for my night, excuse me. It's almost past my bedtime soon. That's a lie. But as I said, Classic Coast is open tomorrow. And I will not be there because I have to go to the club gym in the morning. But I'll get you an update. Someone said I need to go make a video. I said, probably not. But I'll pop in there sooner or later. You guys stay tuned for more. Get ready for Sunday service. We got a lot to talk about Sunday service. Share this video. Remember, tell your peoples. Are you in an overseas relationship? Or are you in a subscription service? Only you can answer that question. Hit the comment section, hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. MrFlipFlop. I'm out.